What is going all the way on YouTube? It is your boy, Sean Ford, aka Big Kill Street. Go check out my music on my other channel. I will put it at the end, like I always do. This is video number dose for tonight. For those who are subscribed and watch me consistently, you already know what the deal is. I explained it in the first video. I'm not gonna explain the whole thing again. But yeah, I mean, long story short, this is not the 3 a.m. meal prep video just yet, because it's not 3 a.m. It's not time to eat my meal prep. When we get to that point, we will do that, and I'll show you what I have. It's probably just, I'm saying probably, it's gonna be the same shit I've been had. That's why it's a meal prep. But I still like to show you guys what I'm snacking on, in case maybe you didn't see a prior video. Maybe this is the first time watching me, I don't know. Again, I wanna thank all my subscribers that have subscribed so far. I appreciate every one of y'all. When I can monetize this channel and y'all contribute, I'll appreciate it just as much. However you may be able to do that. So since we're not doing a meal prep, I do want to pour up some shit real quick, because I'm thirsty and I'm here all night, so. Oh, okay. Let's not overflow now. This is not an advertisement, but I do love Monster. Though, I'm trying to be more health conscious these days, so I drink the 0 sugar. Oh yeah, and there's some ice in this thermo flask. Oh yeah. Where did it go? How did it go? How did the business go? Oh yeah. When this flavor first came out, I didn't like it though, the 0 sugar mango fiesta. As a matter of fact, I'm wrong about that. The one that I remember now that I don't like, I guess I see why they took it off shelves. The 0 sugar peach flavor of Monster tastes like shit. But that's my personal opinion. That's no diss to Monster, it just is what it is. The regular peach tastes fine. Some of my favorite Monster flavors are the normal flavors, but look at the back of those cans, man. You're talking about a lot of carbs in those things. But without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Once again, a good guy with the gun, stop the bad guy with the gun.
Damn right.
How many times is it gonna play out before you people realize that this is the truth?
Exactly.
Police say it was an attempted robbery that backfired. The suspect chose the wrong victim, who happened to have a gun of his own and used it repeatedly.
A man in his 30s, he was shot 3 times in the back after attempting to rob another man.
The victim of the
Damn,
robbery
you can't shoot him in the back though, yo.
his own weapon and fired shots.
The shooter telling police he was walking when he was approached by a man with a gun, but he would also pull out a gun and fired at least 10 shots at the attempted robber, killing him.
The perpetrator of the robbery was inside of a vehicle that was parked on 70th Avenue, and there was also a female in that vehicle.
That vehicle was found a few blocks away on the 6700 block of North 17th Street, a Ford
North
sedan
17th.
with multiple bullet holes on the
This
driver's
is in my
side.
city,
Personally,
y'all. I had to
think
react to
anyone
this.
in politics, any politician, any government official who does anything to unnecessarily prevent people from being able to conceal carry is evil.
Right.
Because what you're saying is, in this situation, you would rather this guy be the victim of an armed robbery where the guy who was robbing him may or may not have killed him after the fact. You would rather him be a victim of armed robbery than being able to defend himself. And I say that because you have places like New York who literally had laws that made it impossible for regular people to conceal carry,
Crazy.
but then made it possible for the elite to have a firearm or concealed carry permit. And that's why concealed carry laws are so important. That's why this last
Damn
Supreme
right.
Court decision under Bruin, that's why that was so important. Because what it did is it forced these states, it forced them to allow people to be able to conceal carry and get their license.
Damn right.
And that's why you have stories like this happening, because this individual had a concealed carry license. He followed the law. He was legal, but you're not going to praise him. You're not going to utilize him as an example. You're simply going to ignore it because you would rather us be victims of crime versus us being able to have a firearm to protect ourselves.
Bullshit.
You would rather him have to wait on the police who weren't there to save him. That's the type of world, that's the type of reality that these politicians want us to live in. So you people out there who are voting for these politicians, understand their goal is about controlling you. They know they can't control the criminals because the criminals are going to do whatever they want, but they are okay with that because criminals aren't affecting them. They live in their palaces in the sky. But you, they don't want you to have the gun. And they'll say this hoopla dream that if you don't have a gun, the criminals won't have a gun. Only
Like,
a
what
fool would
fucking
believe
sense does that even make?
Let's talk about magazine capacity limitations. This guy shot 10 rounds to deal with this guy. 10. So you want to tell me
Hit him
again
with
how a
3.
magazine limitation would have benefited him if there were more than one people? At that point, if he was limited to 10 rounds, he'd be done. He would be able to do nothing about it. He'd just be a sitting duck. But in this particular case, essentially he got lucky. It was only one person. He didn't have to deal with anybody else. But you actually have anti-gun people who say things like, but the statistics say that the most common round count in self-defense shootings are 2 to 6 rounds.
I've been hearing that.
So
That's
we're
some
gonna
bullshit to me.
relegate people to 2 to 6 rounds simply because most self-defense shootings fall, not even most, average self-defense shootings happen to be 2 to 6 rounds. Well, what about the situations like this where it's not 2 to 6 rounds and it's 10? Somebody who's in a
At least he
situation
hit
that
him
needs
within
more than
10
10 rounds
rounds
to protect their lives doesn't care what the statistics say because they are on the outside of that statistical average. And the most important thing right now is their life. So that's 100% the most important thing to them at that moment. And so this idea that you're going to limit me because the averages say you only need 2 to 6 rounds is ridiculous.
Crazy.
But yet you have people actually making this argument and thinking they're making a good one. Now,
Right,
at this
like-
point, my biggest problem that I have when it comes to concealed carry licenses in this country is reciprocity. Now, Philadelphia does have reciprocity with a large majority of states, but even their
Yeah.
reciprocity is limited. And if you don't know what I mean when I say reciprocity, I'm talking about whether or not me as a Texas native,
Go Eagles.
will my concealed carry license work in Philadelphia? And to a degree it will, but there are some restrictions. But there are other states where it won't work. So even though this person has an ability to protect himself in Philadelphia with his license, if I travel anywhere, my license may not work and I can't carry concealed. So
I went to
the
go
robbers
eat in
can have a
Jersey
field
and they
day with
gotta
my
have my
ass
pistol
because
on me.
I won't be able to carry a gun.
I
in this
coulda got
particular
arrested
state.
for that.
So
You're talking
people
about
really need to keep
a
that in
10-minute
mind
drive
when we start
away,
talking about
going to
progressing
Jersey.
forward with these concealed carry laws. There needs to be reciprocity. It makes no sense that I can get a license to carry a gun in Texas, but my license isn't recognized in Philadelphia. But yet I have a driver's license in Texas, and that will allow me to drive in every other state in this country. So basically, I can have the convenience of traveling to different states, but when it comes to the importance of protecting my life, oh, no. That's not important enough. You can't utilize your thing that you have to protect your life in my state because you don't have the same license from my state. This is lunacy. Now, in one of my most
Lunacy.
recent videos, I talked about the fact that in my group chat, one of my friends was like, I've been held up at gunpoint multiple times, and it was the fact that I didn't have a gun is what saved my life because I didn't think I was Rambo and tried to draw down on somebody that already drew on me. Now, in this particular case, that's kind of exactly what happened. He was faster. He was able to get to his gun and shoot this guy faster than this guy could, even though this guy got the drop on him. Now, I'm not saying that's always going to happen and that's always going to be the case. Maybe he saw an opportunity and he took it. But the one thing that I will say about that is this. From a training perspective, you got to practice your draw. And I mean, you got to practice your draw in all of the things that you decide to carry in. Because a lot of times what people do is they'll walk out a door, put a gun on them, and not realize that there are some impedance to their ability to get to their gun. Or they carry a gun that's relatively small and don't realize that, oh, under pressure and under stress, I can't get to my gun fast enough. So it's really important for a lot of people to
Practice your draw.
practice your draw.
Dry
If
fire,
you're going
practice
out for
your
the
shot,
day,
practice
you put
your
your gun
aim.
on you, get a couple 1 or 2 draws in just to make sure that all the clothing works.
Make sure you
because
can
in
get
this
to your
situation,
shit.
if there was something that impeded his ability to get to that gun, he'd be done. He'd be done. And so he clearly and obviously was able to get to his gun quick enough to defend himself. So from a training perspective, we've got to always remember, you've got to practice your draw. You just
Man,
have to.
I'm about
It's
to
one of
start
the most
rocking a
important
trench
things because
coat
it's honestly
with my
going
outside
to be
carry
one of the
holster.
most likely situations as
I could really
as a
fucking
armed
hit you with
citizen
that
that you're
cowboy
probably
drop.
going to encounter. And on top of that,
Smell me?
you never really know who's watching you. Because you can have the best gun you want, you can have the quickest draw, fastest draw in the east or the west, but if your situational awareness is shit, and you don't know what's going on
If a
around you, don't
motherfucker got
realize
the
somebody's
drop on
watching
you, they
you,
got
get
the drop on you.
you're screwed. None of that matters. So always
Keep
be
your eyes up.
aware
That's what I
of
always
what's
tell
going
my
on
people.
around you.
Keep
Now I
your
know
eyes
it's
up.
unrealistic to say be
Stop
on red
looking
alert
down.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but sometimes we can find ourselves being a little too lazy with our situational
Lazy,
awareness.
comfortable.
And so we've got to
Stop
start
doing
stepping
it.
that up and understanding that somebody's always watching you. Whether you believe it or not, someone is watching you.
Damn
and they're
right.
watching you to determine whether or not you are a victim or not. So there are things that you can do that will demonstrate to those people whether or not you are a victim.
I sit on the toilet with my
you
gun,
just
I get in
have
the
your head up
shower,
your
and my
ass
gun
you
is
don't
right
see what's
there.
going on, thus
You're not
making you a
catching me
victim when you
slipping.
otherwise wouldn't be. Now, earlier I talked about reciprocity. And for me, I travel a lot. So one of the things that I do whenever I know I'm traveling to a different state is I search whether or not I have reciprocity in any of those states that I might be going to, so I
They
know
gave
whether
me
or
a
not my
packet
license is any
that
good.
told me all the
And one of the
states I
ways
can
that I
carry
do
my
that,
pistol
not the
in.
one of the ways, the way I do it is I go on USCCA. I know you guys hear me talk about USCCA.
This man
quite
with
a
the
bit because I think it's
USCCA,
extremely
I'm gonna have to
important
take a look
have
into
a
it myself.
USCCA type membership
Like
so
I
that you have access to
said
concealed
in
carry
past
insurance.
videos,
But as I always also point out, one of the things I love about USCCA
is he
is the
gonna talk
fact
about
that you get
USCCA the rest of
so
the time?
much in the form of
Because I usually cut it at this
information
point.
and
Again, no
training
disrespect to
and
my
the wealth
mans,
of
but
knowledge that you can get from all of the other stuff that comes with USCCA
I already have heard
membership,
him
which
explain
I
the
think is almost
USCCA
just
stuff.
as important. Now, being able to go on USCCA's website and searching whether or not you have reciprocity, that's free. You can do that right now.
You can do that on Google.
So imagine something that is that valuable and has that type of information, how much information you get with the membership on top of the access to concealed carry insurance. So for anyone out there who does carry a firearm, and I just did an interview with one of my followers who was actually
Man,
in
listen,
a robbery where he used a gun to defend
we
himself.
brothers.
Now,
The
fortunately
first thing
for
you
him,
need to
he
tell
was
me is
able
what
to
that shit
get
costs,
away
because all the
clean
rest
as
don't
far
matter
as
if I
any
do
type
all
of
that stuff
legal
and then I
issue.
get to the end
Now, one of the things he
and
did
it
say
costs
was,
all this bread.
I wish I did have some form of concealed carry insurance, because he said he got lucky in that after it happened, he probably said some things that he probably shouldn't have that could have got him in trouble just because he was under the stress of the
Listen,
situation.
I've researched
as it
this.
happened.
If
But
you
he
get in
had
a
someone to
situation
call
where you
that
got to
would
shoot a
immediately put him in touch
motherfucker
with
to
a lawyer like
defend
he
your
did
life,
with the
don't
USCCA
say shit
membership,
to nobody. Don't
things
say
would have
nothing.
gone
If
totally
the cop
different
asks you
in
what
a good way.
happened,
But he still made it
I
out
wouldn't even
clean,
tell
so
him
that's
what
a
the
good
fuck
thing.
happened,
But
to
for
be
those of you
honest.
who are interested in what a
I leave it
USCCA
to,
membership
hey,
looks
he tried
like,
to rob me,
I'm going to
I
put a
shot
link
him.
in the
That's
description
it.
section of this video so you can go
You
ahead
say
and check it.
anything else that's
Guns are
stupid,
political. That's why I
they
need
gonna
your
try to
help
hem your
getting
ass
this
up,
message
especially
to
now.
spread
They're
on
trying to
YouTube
take our
by
guns.
clicking the thumbs up button, leaving a comment to let me know what you think of the video, then subscribing to the channel. But most important,
and there you have a video. I mean, people, video 2. Shout out my man Coley Noir. As always, he's making great points, and I support all of them. Fact is, they want our guns, man. They want to regulate how we carry them, what we carry, how much we carry. It's some bullshit. Don't vote on that shit. We need this. If this isn't another example of why we need good Samaritans, common citizens carrying weapons, I don't know what is. Because the criminals is going to get the guns no matter what. They're going to get the guns. They're criminals. They don't give a fuck. They don't follow the laws. You smell what I'm saying? That's why they're criminals. They're going to have the guns no matter what. And if they know we don't got none, they're going to be robbing you. They're going to be robbing me. They're going to be robbing your Grammy, your mammy, your aunties, your uncles. And that's not what we want. Like I've said in the past, a toddler with a pistol wins. I don't care how many weights you lift, homeboy. A little baby could have a fucking gun. It's over for you. That's how powerful an equalizer that is. Last thing you want to be doing is getting caught slipping. But we got another video to shoot. So all I want you to do is have a fantastical day. This has been 3 a.m. Meal Prep Talks and night. And Thank you.
Not the black off 'em. You don't wanna hear that Mac talking. All these niggas, they be trash talking. Pussy boy, you not a friend of me. How you turn from a friend